Jay Slater assaulted Tom Hilton really badly with a gang of lads. Tom Hilton's dad could never let this drop, even though his son demanded let things just be. Jay would often brag about the assault every time he was out and about in Rishton. This upset some friends that both Tom and Jay shared. A friend of Tom's dad who was in prison heard about the assault. His name was Oswaldtwistle. Ayub is a notorious gang member and drug dealer. He has big connections and promised he would get vengeance for Tom. Whilst in prison, Ayub masterminded a perfect plan for when he was released and recruited a team of people and enticed them with big money, some of who were very close to Jay and in his trust circle. Ayub was released and wanted the revenge to take place at an event such as a concert or a festival where plenty of witnesses would be. Ayub, his friend, Lucy, Brad, and 2 other men were involved in the plan. Part 1 of the plan was that over the next few days, get Jay absolutely wrecked on whatever was available and fill him with free drinks. Ayub and his friend would befriend the group and build massive trust with Jay, complimenting him and laughing at his jokes. Lucy and Brad would have to act like they never knew Ayub. Part 2 the night in question, Lucy would get Jay wrecked, then leave the venue early, getting as much attention as she could, and making sure enough people seen her go home. Then she would post Snapchats of herself stating, "early night," to leave a paper trail. Ayub and friends would then cause a distraction outside the venue and throw a fake Rolex watch to the floor supplied by Ayub. Ayub and his friend would encourage Jay to grab the watch. Then Brad would say he's heard rumours, it's an Albanian gangster's watch, and Jay needs to leave ASAP as they are searching for him. Meanwhile, the other 2 unknown men who also hired a second car have stolen a boat. Ayub, his friend and Jay all jump in the pre-hired car whilst Brad leaves and informs the other 2 men that they are on their way. In the car, Ayub instructs Jay to take images of the watch on his phone and show his friends back home, making him brag that he stole a watch. Foolishly, Jay does this. The 2 guys with the stolen boat have to delay things as the police are coasting the area for an unrelated issue. They tell Ayub to chill somewhere for a few hours until the dust settles. With nowhere to go, Ayub decides to hire an Airbnb, but uses an alias name of Ayub Abdul and then heads straight there. It's an hour's drive away and he only books it for 2 hours, which raises suspicions. Once there, he waits for the signal of all clear from the boat boys. He then tells Jay that the Albanian gangsters are tracking Jay's phone and convinces him to give the phone to Ayub. He tells Jay that he will drive the phone in an opposite direction to confuse the gangsters and that it's unsafe for Jay to travel with them, but not to worry as they will come back for him. He then tells Jay to knock on a random door and ask for directions, but once given directions to start walking uphill in the opposite direction and they will come back for him. He said this is in case the gangsters ask locals if they have seen Jay. Ayub and his friend leave the Airbnb and set off back home. Once back where they are originally staying, they desperately gain attention on purpose to place them in the right place at the right time. They then instruct the boatmen with a burner phone to collect Jay and finish the job. Jay is collected and placed on the boat. Ayub gives Jay's phone to Brad, who then makes fictional calls to himself and Lucy, and also Snapchats with photos from Jay's gallery to friends back home. The phone then is taken to the hills, turned off and destroyed. Lucy is worried people will detect she's lying. Ayub instructs her to not face the cameras. If she's interviewed, as body language experts will know she has something to hide. They tell Brad that if he is under the influence whilst being filmed, then body language experts will get inconclusive readings. This is why he was smiling throughout. He was potentially under the influence. Everyone returns home. They think they have committed the perfect crime. The 30k GoFundMe was a distraction, as was the watch. This was a long-awaited, well-planned revenge attack, but hiring the Airbnb was not in the original.